I'm Sergeant Hachenberger, along with Lieutenant Gordon, and we are both with the Volusia Sheriff's Office Internal Affairs Unit. Also present for the interview with Officer King is Mr. Greg Cook. Today's date is January 17th, 2024, and the current time is 2:46 p.m. The location of this interview is the Sheriff's Administrative Offices at the land. Officer King, do you understand this interview is being recorded?
Yes, sir.
I'm conducting an official administrative investigation concerning the Orange City Police Department Standard Operating Procedure of Untruthfulness. It's 26.1.106. Employees shall not knowingly make false or untrue statements except as authorized in the performance of duties and as necessary to maintain covert operations during investigation of criminal activities. As a Florida law enforcement officer and a notary public of the state of Florida, I am empowered to take sworn statements. At this time, I ask that you raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the statement you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Any false statements about material matters given by a witness under oath will constitute perjury, which is a third-degree felony according to Section 837.02 Florida statutes. Do you understand that if you knowingly make material misstatements of facts to me during this investigation, you have committed the crime of perjury?
Yes, I understand.
And if you could, just sign there for me. It's just stating that you acknowledge what we just read over. And would you mind witnessing it for me, Mr. Cook?
Oh, sorry.
Thanks, sir. All right, we'll go over Garrity real quick, okay?
Yes, sir.
You're hereby advised that you are being questioned as part of an official administrative investigation by the Volusia Sheriff's Office. You will be asked questions specifically directed and narrowly related to the performance of your official duties or fitness for office. You are entitled to all rights and privileges guaranteed by the laws and Constitution of this state and the Constitution of the United States, including the right not to be compelled to incriminate yourself. I further advise you that if you refuse to testify or to answer questions relating to the performance of your official duties or fitness for duty, it will be considered an act of insubordination and a violation of a direct order by a superior or competent authority. If you do answer, neither your statements nor any information or evidence which will be gained by reason of such statements can be used against you in any subsequent criminal proceeding, except for perjury or obstruction of justice charges. However, these statements may be used against you in relation to subsequent or additional departmental, administrative, disciplinary charges. The aforementioned advisement of rights is not the warning in criminal cases under the Miranda decision. As mentioned, Miranda has no application in a disciplinary interview. All right, sign that for me, please. What's that? Okay. Okay. Could you please state your name for the record?
Shadrach King?
Prior to this interview, were you provided a complete case file in regard to this investigation?
I was.
Have you had an opportunity to review the file?
Yes.
Also, you signed and acknowledged a Garrity warning form. Do you have any questions or concerns regarding the case file, Garrity form, or the Law Enforcement Officer Bill of Rights?
I do not.
Do you mind if Lieutenant Gordon asks questions during the interview?
I don't mind.
Okay. How long have you been a law enforcement officer?
Total of 6 years.
Okay. And currently you're employed with the Orange City Police Department?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's your current assignment there?
I am a patrol officer.
Okay. This investigation is in reference to a complaint about possible discrepancies or omissions that are from within your employment application with the Orange City Police Department. Do you recall completing the application?
Yes, I do.
Okay. How long have you been employed at Orange City?
Since April of 2023.
Okay. And so starting off here, and if you want to follow along, you
Okay.
can. We'll go to the tab. I think it should be E.
E.
Yeah, the Officer King's OCPD employment application.
Yes.
And then once we get there, we'll go to, at the bottom, it'll be labeled page 1. It should be the third page, I think.
Page 1.
Yep. So at the bottom, the very bottom there's a section labeled marital status. Under yours, you had selected single. At the time that you were, and I understand you were previously married and are now divorced. Is that?
Well, currently, I had a wife.
Okay.
Currently, yes.
Okay.
But
At the time that this was
at the
being
top of the
completed?
application, I was not married.
Okay, all right. Had you been married prior to
Yes.
completing? Okay. How would you define, or what would your definition of single be?
Single meaning currently at the present time, I am not married.
Okay,
I'm single.
all right. So based on that definition and your understanding of it, that was the correct option to select was single?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, and then kind of staying on the same topic, the page before this one, there's under the section forms for minimum processing, there's a bullet point underneath that section labeled name change or change of name document, and then in parentheses next to it, marriage and divorce documents. When you were married, prior to completing your employment application, had you had any change of name?
Change of name? No,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. So then any sort of change of name document for like divorce documents or anything like that wouldn't be relevant for you to submit.
I don't
make sense?
understand the question, no.
Okay. So there's a section, the
Yep.
change of name document.
Yep,
And then if you read next to it, in parentheses, marriage and divorce documents.
correct.
So like a change of name document, meaning like divorce documents or something like that. That with you not changing your name
Got you.
previously, from my understanding, and if it's the same for you, that wouldn't be relevant.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that's why you
Okay, I
didn't
see what you're
submit
saying.
any. Yeah, sorry for the
Yes,
confusion.
sir.
All right. So now moving on to the next one, it's page 8. Under the same section.
7, 8.
And this one at the top of the page, it's labeled Criminal Justice Course Synopsis, and then it gives the instruction to give a brief synopsis of specialty courses in the criminal justice field that individualizes your application. Include seminars and academic training with the grade if one was assigned. What would you define specialty courses as?
Specialty courses would be something that I complete during my tenure as a police officer. So, for example, I went to field training officer class, so that would be a specialized course.
So something that commonly we call like in-service training. So like BLE classes
yes,
wouldn't
sir.
be considered any additional specialty
Correct.
courses. Okay.
Correct.
So that's why here your response to that was I'm a certified field training officer, crisis intervention officer, and speed measurement operator.
Yes, sir.
At the time, were those the relevant? That's an accurate depiction of your specialty training.
Those are
When
the
you-
only courses that I've taken.
Okay.
Specialty courses, yes.
All right. All right, now move into page 12.
Well,
This is the general questionnaire. We'll start with question 4.
4.
The question is, have you applied for employment at any other law enforcement agency within the last 3 years? If so, list agencies on supplement. You selected yes, and then on page 14 is where the supplement begins. You listed Orlando PD, Orange County Sheriff's Office, I think that's Lake Hamilton PD,
Yes, sir.
okay, and then the Lake Alfred
Lake Alfred.
Police Department.
Yep.
Were there any agencies that you had applied to that aren't listed here?
I have Orlando. I'm sure there are a few because I've applied to a lot of places over the past few years, but I didn't list all of them here.
Okay.
But these are the most recent ones that I applied to.
Okay, all right. You said that, so there was quite a few agencies that you've applied to.
Oh yeah.
While you were completing this, any that may have been left out, would that have been done intentionally?
Intentionally, no.